This is a quick guide for your new Subaru. Not all models will have all of these features, but yours should be pretty close. For starters, we're going to go over controls on the steering wheel quickly. On the left-hand side are mostly radio controls. Left and right will change different radio stations, tracks on a CD, or Bluetooth tracks or things of that nature. Up and down for volume. Your source button will toggle you through your different audio sources. It'll always show you on your radio screen what source you're on. For instance, right now we're on FM. I'll press it to switch to AM, satellite, and whatever other sources you have in there, it'll continue in that rotation. This info button changes what displays on this top info screen up here. Simply press it to change through different screens for displays for weather, radio information, fuel economy information, and to change settings on this screen as well. Keep pressing it to cycle through to the different pages. At the top portion of that screen, you'll always see your clock, your outside temperature, and your climate controls. We'll get to those soon. Underneath your radio icons, you also have the ability to answer and hang up a Bluetooth connected phone directly from the steering wheel. There's also a voice command feature on this answer button here. Press it, you'll hear a beep, and after that beep is your cue to tell the system what you'd like it to do. For instance, to call somebody, or to change the radio station, or if you have navigation, you can also tell it where to go. These buttons on the lower left-hand side pull back towards you. Don't try and press forward, you'll just break a nail. The arrows up and down are mostly used to change what displays in this middle screen between your gauges. Again, things like trip information, fuel economy information, tire pressure information, and even a digital speedometer can display in this middle page here. Once you've found the desired page, simply leave it there and it'll stay there. The middle button here can be used to change settings on that. You likely won't need to worry about that very often. On the right hand side are cruise control features and adaptive steering features, and if available, your Subaru Intelligent Drive, or SI Drive. We'll start with cruise. In the upper right hand corner, when you turn on cruise, you'll see a cruise light that looks just like the button that you pressed. It's a picture of a car with a speedometer. You'll also see a picture of the car here in the middle, and you may see a screen up top change as well. Once you've reached the desired speed, click down on Set, and next to MPH, those two dashes will display the set speed that you have for your cruise. When there's slower moving traffic ahead of you, your eyesight system, in conjunction with your adaptive cruise control, will automatically detect slower moving vehicles ahead and hold the gap between you and that car ahead. By pressing these up and down arrows, you can increase and decrease the following distance that you'd like to have set. You'll notice the more white bars that you have in the middle here, the further distance you'll hold between you and the slower moving traffic ahead. When traffic moves out of the way, adaptive cruise will resume speed automatically. You can also use adaptive steering, either with or without your cruise control. Adaptive steering has a picture of a steering wheel logo on the right-hand side of your screen. Again, that corresponds with the same button that you pressed on your steering wheel on the right-hand side. When active, it's looking for lane markings. You'll notice right now there aren't any lane markings other than the gray shadows there on either side. When those light up in white, it's telling you that it has enough visual information to be able to see the lanes, and it will subsequently change the steering angle to keep you in the lane. It's not quite a driverless car system yet, as the system does still require you to have your hands on the wheel. If it doesn't detect any feedback through the steering wheel, it will ask you to put your hands back on the steering wheel. On some models with Subaru Intelligent Drive, the buttons to change the different driving modes are down here, underneath your cruise and adaptive steering buttons. Sport mode, or S, which is signified down here, will give the car a little more pep in its step. It'll prioritize engine performance over fuel efficiency. However, most of the time, you'll have it in this I, or intelligent mode, that prioritizes fuel efficiency over engine performance. You can change these at the flip of the switch anytime. If your car is equipped with paddle shifters, they'll be on the back side of the steering wheel here. Paddle shifters allow you to shift the transmission up and down simply by clicking on the plus sign and minus sign on the back sides here. You can keep it in manual mode if you take your shifter down to drive and move it over to the left. If your car doesn't have paddle shifters, when you move it to the left, you'll be in a low gear. Behind the steering wheel, you've got controls for your turn signals, like every car, headlights on the very end here, and, if equipped, fog lights. On the opposite side, you've got controls for your front and, if available, a rear wiper. Up and down will change the different speeds for the front, as well as your intermittent control, which is on this ring switch here. On the very end of the stock, you can change the different speeds for the rear wiper, again, if your car is equipped with one. Behind the steering wheel and behind these stocks, I will lower this so you can see it better, there's a trip reset button here. Simply press it to switch between trip A and trip B, or press and hold to reset it. This will also not only reset the miles that you have for that trip, but also reset your fuel economy information as well. Most radios look like this. It may be slightly different either in size or in the arrangement of the apps here, but this is essentially what you're going to get in your Subaru. You have physical buttons on the lower section here that you can use to switch between these different pages if you choose not to use the touchscreen. However, the home screen here is probably the easiest place to start. You can access your phone settings, radio, the settings for the screen, apps through a smartphone, media, your My Subaru account, and you can add additional apps on here if you'd like. To pair a phone, simply touch Phone. It will automatically ask if you'd like to add a device, if this is your first time. If you've already added a device, you'll see Add a Device up here in the corner instead. This will allow you to switch between other devices that you may have paired to your radio. To pair devices, click Add Device, and then follow the prompts on your phone in your Bluetooth settings to pair it with the radio. It should walk you through the process, whether it's an iPhone or an Android type smartphone. Your radio icon is pretty simple. FM, AM, and satellite radio can all be managed through this section. You'll notice down along the bottom there are places for presets, but we have FM, AM, and satellite stations here available. Simply find a station that you'd like, and then press and hold until you hear a beep. It will lock in that station in that spot. There are up to 18 presets that you can have set. Additionally, those arrows I showed you on your steering wheel, on the radio side, on the left-hand side, can be used to switch stations left and right. You'll see it changing on what it's selecting, and I'm not touching the screen at all, just by using your radio controls. Let's go back to the home screen. If it's not under FM, AM, or satellite, it's likely you're likely trying to listen to music through either your phone, your CD, or other devices. That's all going to be covered under media. These will light up on the left-hand side showing you what media is available. If you have a disc in, if you have a USB stick full of music, if you're listening to Bluetooth music off of your phone, these will light up here on the left-hand side. Let's go back to the main page again, and then apps. Apps are designed to interface stuff directly from your phone with your radio screen here. Pandora and Aha Music apps can be used wirelessly, whereas apps like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto need to be plugged into the USB outlets underneath your climate control settings in order for those to work. You also have access to My Subaru and a Subaru Starlink app, although I should note that this Starlink app does not have anything to do with your Starlink safety and security subscription. In fact, all of that is managed through your My Subaru account. Download the My Subaru app to your phone for more information. Let's go back to the home screen. Otherwise, settings will allow you to change settings throughout the vehicle. General settings, sound settings, phone settings, and vehicle settings. All of these will vary on the type of vehicle that you have and the options available. Climate controls are underneath your radio, while the display for these climate controls is often above. On a screen up here, you'll see that there's temperature displays. That temperature is controlled from the knobs down below. As I turn this knob, the temperature displays change on the top screen. The middle knob here can be used to change fan speed, and the button in the middle can turn on and off the recirculate feature. And this mode button here will change through different modes of where the air is going. These vary from vehicle to vehicle, but the basic idea is the same. You also have your front and rear defrosters. If equipped, your rear defroster will also turn on your heated side mirrors and your heated windshield wiper deicers when it's activated. Most models equipped with Subaru's EyeSight safety system have the ability to turn off the main functions of that system with these two buttons up above you. They may look slightly different on your model depending. The button over here that looks like a car driving out of its lane will disable your lane departure warning. Press and hold, and you'll see an orange light show up in your gauge cluster that represents that system being turned off. Press and hold the button again to turn that system back on. The other button looks like two cars crashing into each other with a little star between them. This will turn off your pre-collision braking. Press and hold to turn it off, and you'll see a light down here that corresponds with that button again. Just like the other one, press and hold again to turn it back on. For additional information, consult your owner's manuals inside your glove box. Otherwise, call your salesperson or Love Encore delivery specialist at Baxter Subaru, and we'll be happy to help.